Once we have awakened from our sleep, it is still difficult for some people to create positive structures, routines, and intentions. Awakening is only the first step of an eternal journey. Why some people transform during their journey easier and faster than others? My master would answer this question with one simple line. It is because of our innate laziness. We are lazy. We do not want to work hard. And that is why so many people can bully us, can cheat on us. We want the easy way. We want someone to come and open our chakras. Just touch you and the chakras are open. We want someone to raise our kundalini for us. We want a savior. We don't want to work hard. And this is the problem. We are lazy. And this laziness is inherent. It is innate. You know, there are so many words which are now becoming very popular, especially in the West. But thanks to internet and all those things, in the East also now those words are becoming popular. Being grounded. Another word also. Earthing. Being grounded. This word becomes very popular because it justifies our laziness. We all want to become grounded. And being grounded is very easy. So if somebody tells you by doing so and so, such and such thing, you'll become grounded, we take it on the face value because it's easy to do. But the moment we started walking on our two legs, 2 feet, we are already defying the law of nature, the law of gravity. We have already defied. There is no such thing as being grounded. If you want to become grounded, you become like those animals crawling on their four again. That is being grounded. So our human birth, the moment we are born, we are already destined to defy the law of gravity. But we want to become grounded again because that is easy. We have an experience of not thousands of years, of hundreds of thousands of years, from a long, long evolution when we were all grounded, we were all crawling. So it is easier. And therefore we postpone anything that requires hard work. This question is actually very important in the sense that the answer is already there. Why it is difficult for some people to create positive structures. I'm not even talking about positive structures, to create any new structure. To create any new habit, routine or intention is difficult because we are used to the old patterns. And to break away from those patterns, to free yourself from the clutches of those old patterns is very painful. When I was small, I was in India, I was a teenager, and when you're a teenager, you read a lot of Mills and Boon in those days. Do you remember? Anybody of my generation, Mills and Boon? There was a series of romantic stories, very heartbreaking sometimes. It was never like they lived happily ever after, And we used to enjoy those heartbreaking stories, my God. And there was one such story based on a folk story. I was to understand the meaning of this story many, many years later when I was no longer a teenager. The story goes like this. There were two birds one bird was living in a cage and the other bird was free. And somehow they got to know each other. The bird living in the cage and the free bird. And this free bird would come near the cage and they would talk to each other in their language and they fell in love. So this free bird is telling the bird in the cage, free yourself, let us fly together, let us remain with each other, let us live with each other. And in love, and you are in love, so this bird in the cage, she says, yes, but tell me how to do it. How can I free myself? I'm in the cage. I'm getting my food, my drink in the cage, and the cage is closed, is locked. How do I free myself? So this free bird, he's flying and he's meeting a guru. And this guru tells this bird, or let's say the free bird is a male or female, whatever. So this free bird, the guru is telling this free bird, teach that bird in the cage, teach your beloved to die before death. Say, what do you mean? Pretend to die. Said, okay. So the bird, he doesn't understand the inner meaning, inner significance of that. But this free bird goes to the bird in the cage and tells the beloved, look beloved, I met a guru and he told me to free yourself, you have to pretend to die. But okay. So it pretended to die, takes out its feet and put it outside the cage a bit. And when this hunter who has got this bird, he comes back home after hunting, he sees the bird looks like dead. He opens the cage and the bird immediately flew. So the bird becomes free. And they meet. The free bird and the second, the beloved and the lover, both of them, they are meeting. And they are flying. They are happy. For few days they are happy. But after few days, the bird in the cage says, I cannot fly the way you fly. My wings are not that strong. I have been in the cage for so long that I cannot fly the way you fly. And beside that, it's too much for me to look for food. To go here and there and to search for some grains. There I get everything, all the supplies there. What to do? And the free bird, he is full of compassion, full of pity. He said, my God, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that you'll be so unhappy with me. Freedom can make you unhappy. And they somehow allow the bird to be caged again, to be hunted again, to be caught again by the hunter, and to be caged again. And the beloved, the free bird, he says, look, I will come with you. I allow myself to be caught also. So we can both be in the cage and live together happily. Once again, they lived together happily for some time. But after that, the bird that was free said, this is terrible. I love you very much, but I simply cannot live in this cage. I have never, ever lived in a cage. This is killing me. This is killing me. And so the story is very tragic. And when I was a teenager, can you imagine, I was 12, 13, and reading this story, my God, I was in tears. And the story ends with a question mark. What should they do? What should they do? Remain in the cage and die slowly, painfully? What should they do? No answer is given to this folk story. And then the storyteller would tell us, in those days, there will be a storyteller, and the storyteller is telling you stories. And then he would throw this question to the public, to the audience. What would you think? What do you think they should do? If I am to ask you this question, what would you say? What should they do? Divorce they did. Divorce they did. And they are so much in love, and these birds, they don't have this faculty of divorce. They don't have the institution of divorce. We human beings are luckier than them. But they don't have this institution of divorce. So what should they do? Yes. Yeshwan, yes.
Never got married?
They never got married, but they are in love with each other. They are in love with each other. They are deadly in love with each other, yes.
Are they Indian birds or not?
Does that make difference?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Indian birds usually they commit suicide together.
No. This is look at this like this. Go back in time for about 250 years. Okay? 250 years, romance in the West and romance in the East and Russia, where East and West meets, anywhere in the world, romance would be same. It is only recently, for last 100 years, 150 years, that our definition of romance has changed. So whether Indian bird or Western bird or Russian bird or Chinese bird or Japanese bird or any bird, European bird, I think they would be in the same position. I think. I don't know. What should they do? Okay. Considering they are Indian birds or what birds? They should commit suicide? No? Yes.
They should go their separate ways.
Yes. This was the reply that the storyteller would give. They should go the separate way, but they should ever remain in love. But then he would continue the story. Tomorrow evening, I'll continue the story. And then next evening, he would make us all very tearful, because he would tell poems about this bird who is in the cage, making poems for the beloved who is outside, and outside is another set of poems. So it would go on for days. This small story would go on for days, because in between he would be singing. In between he would be singing on behalf of the bird in the cage and bird outside. So this is the thing. We are so used to patterns. We are used to pattern. The bird that was in the cage and the wings are weaker, it simply means that you go a bit slow. The bird that is free, can he come down on his speed? Can he fly a bit slower? While the bird in the cage is getting used to flying outside. That was my reply. But having given that reply, I could not really understand the inner significance of this story. It took me years. When I met my guru, my master, then only I remember this story again. And then I realized the meaning of this story. The guru is the free bird. And the disciple to be, not yet disciple, is the bird in the cage. And the guru is coming down on his feet to teach this bird that is going to be a disciple to enjoy the freedom. And yet the disciple can be so fearful of freedom, that the disciple may decide to go back to the same cage. So this is the thing. We are not used to new patterns. How to get used to new patterns? And there my master would remind us, you be deeply in love with the new way of life. You are so much in love with the new way of life that you can forget all the old patterns. Suppose you are married or you are living together with someone, and then you find somebody and you can be so deeply in love that you start comparing, and then you forget all about your past. So love is the solution. How to be in love with this new pattern. How to understand that this new pattern is about freedom, and the old pattern is keeping me in the cage. Once you realize that, then innate laziness, this inherent laziness, this idea of wanting to be grounded will not occur. This idea will not be there anymore. You'll start enjoying your freedom.